That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. It's one of those days. I will say it's been a weird week of stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I thought, okay, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And what's gonna happen? Yesterday was an interesting day in the area because we had there's certain areas where you go, okay, that makes sense, where there's like, Tornado Valley, there's tornado here, there, and everywhere. We got Jess over there. Jess is going, tornado, what?
Wait, what?
We had a tornado, Jess,
Where? In LA?
in Montebello, which is actually my like hometown, my mom's hometown too. It goes back, man. Yeah, and so they had a tornado. It tore up. Now I will say this for those listening, okay, and I know some of you are like, in areas where you actually have tornadoes. It's like a level point one, okay, not a actual one. It's like one of those things when you go in like the desert and you see one of those like little like it spews up a little stuff from the sand. But I will say this: it was big enough. It was big. I see your face, Jess. Did you look it up? It was big enough. It made it to some stations, and they posted some of the video, and you hear them, and the bleep 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 didn't even go on. I think they have to re-edit it. But it was one of those things where it was like the guys, the workers at a particular place in Montebello were like, like they didn't know what to do, and then there's footage where like there was like a piece of something coming in through like the opening, and then he went to it. I'm like, no, don't do that, you might get cut, you know what I mean? So it was big enough to make a lot of damage on a roof, and like in an area of like two buildings, that it scraped the paint like clear off by like ripping the roof off and then throwing everything. You almost like, if someone believed that somebody was upset at somebody, like it asked for the, it was like just one of those where it hit a particular. I don't know what they do there, but I know they're probably calling their insurance. So we had a tornado. Some outlets said we may have had a possible tornado, but then some of the footage. I'm so glad people have their phones now, because I don't think people would. And if it were at night, nobody would know. They would just be like, "Oh, it's a blustery day." No, we had a tornado, Jess. There's some footage where you go, yep, that's a funnel cloud. That makes sense. And so it's just one of those things where it's like, and not gonna lie, where I'm at, it's probably like just, Monterey Park, Montebello have all been in the news. Monterey Park, we know, unfortunately, because of the shooting, and Biden's been here as of recent, as of last week. I was like, Biden's here? What's Biden doing? Nobody, nobody hears about Monterey Park unless I tell them Monterey Park. So I think it's kind of funny in a way. But and then there's some news where I go, okay, I don't get that, but it's. So here's a top story, and I'm not gonna lie, I was having some problems with my device, and I was like, okay, do we go on? Do we not go on? What do we do? But this is a thing that's been a thing since, and this was posted yesterday, by the way. I'm gonna say this is very new, okay? But this was the thing that you told me, Jess. You said as of like more than a week and a half ago. And I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. You didn't say it was this guy. You said a reporter said something about. Do you remember that, Jess?
Yes. He was reporting that the Pentagon was reported that, there was a possible mothership in our solar system. Yeah, I did not name the reporter because I could not remember his name until you saw the video. He's like, yeah, he's super famous. I'm like, okay, apparently not famous enough for me.
Well, and when I say famous, okay, when I say he does the nightly news, okay, he's like Brokaw, right? For people that watch the nightly news. But for my ma, let me just put it this way: my mom was not impressed that Kamala was here in Monterey Park. She was not impressed, but the moment the anchor of ABC, was like here, she's like, oh my, it was like celebrity. She was like, oh my God, you would have thought he was the president. So when you said what you said, a reporter, it was kind of like, but you kind of left out Brokaw was here. You know what I mean? I can't even remember I know my mom. She's like, dude, it's this guy. I love this guy. And she does. She loves him. But even when he said it, he was like, yeah, because he does official news, right? It's not like you think, okay, it's a parody. Like, you don't want to say mothership. You know what I mean? On your news when you have to, but he's reading the line. It's like, of course there's a mothership, so what's going on? And I thought this was interesting. Jess, remember that little, like, and we had theories. I don't think we said it, but it was kind of in the headlines. It's kind of like they buried it. It was that particular image of that, what they said was an asteroid, but it looked a little suspicious. And they said it was a size, let's see, I think they say 2200. No, that can't be it. Um, Maybe that is it. But it was discovered a while ago. But they're saying that's a mothership, not an asteroid. And I'm like, okay, but it looks like an asteroid ish, right? So people are kind of like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to make of it. Again, this is all like stuff that people are saying, okay. Um, uh, so I guess the question is, do we talk about it? Do we not talk about it? What do we do, Jess?
Good question. Good question. Well, until they're actually hovering above our city, I'm not gonna really worry about it. Uh, Maybe I don't know. Should I worry about it? No, I'm not gonna worry about it. There are worse things to worry about.
Well, in a way, okay. So this is the image, right? This is the image, and I do agree, Jess. I do agree. I'll say this though: there's so many weird things happening, and it's almost like a movie. And sometimes they say straight out of a science fiction novel. It's not a science fiction, thing, but it's what we're reporting now because and when Pentagon says, "Oh, it's something to look at," we go, "Okay." This is the image, if you remember, that we saw probably like 1 or 2 years ago. This was the image, okay? And when you see that, Jess, you think, okay, right? You see that and you go, all right, that, but some of the headlines kind of said alien, but it didn't specify a ship. It just said alien, like, kind of like a huge asteroid from an alien world. And I'm like, well, all asteroids are from alien worlds when you think about it, right? So I didn't really understand. But now I look back at the news and I go, oh, maybe they thought it was the whole time. Well, evidently, this is what I'm talking about. I'm kind of stammering because it's almost like I really don't want to say it, but I'm going to have to say it. And here it is. According to a Harvard scientist and a Pentagon official, in a draft paper, they say the extraterrestrial spaceship could be in our neighborhood, exploring the region by the means of what they call dandelion seeds, small aircraft, or small spacecraft that can gather and send back information similar to the way humans send out spacecraft to explore planets. Which, when you think about it, that makes sense, right? Like if there was, if we were in you think, like, okay, we go to Mars, right? We do that. It's called a rover. It's called a device that we send out. Looks robotic, and we want to see if the place is habitable. So I think they're going to move on. What do you think, Jess?
I think the trouble people have with trying to imagine that being like some type of ship or satellite or whatever is that everyone's thinking it's gonna look like one of ours, like some type of machine.
Yeah.
But for all we know, they could be using like what's the easiest thing to fish out of space? Asteroids. So you pick up a couple, install some technology on there, and sling it. Boom.
At us or at someone? Wait,
No, like what? Yeah, like let's say instead of building like satellites and all these things, take an asteroid, fit it with a bunch of technology and stuff like that, and then like
we
hurl
do
it to
that.
somewhere. We use that.
Sorry, that was the audio of our show. Yeah, I agree 100%. I will say this though. I will say this. If you look at this, it's smart when you travel through space in something like this. And I'll say this is a artist rendition based on what they saw that was very dark. Okay, and this is one that they said, oh, it's coming around. Well, they didn't say it's coming around, but I saw some footage. I said, oh. They did one of those things that they do in all movies like Apollo 13. Do you remember that? Where they say we're going to use the trajectory of the moon and we're going to come back around. We're going to use that because we're out of fuel, right? We're leaky fuel or whatever they say, right? In a way, it kind of did that. And I say, okay, that makes sense. So they're trying to go back home or something. I don't know. But this is actually a very smart, in my opinion, some people say we're in the moon, right? Or someone's in the moon or whatever. Go watch what's that one with the moon? And then like the one with Don't Look Up. I think all those are like a telling of a time that we're in, Jess. But this particular, like if you think of traveling through space and you don't want to get hurt, it's actually a really good design, back to what you're saying, Jess, because when asteroids or space rock hits you, unlike all those movies where like, oh my god, we're entering an asteroid belt like Han Solo or something, it kind of makes sense for design if you like, you know, I don't think you launch it from a planet, but you kind of like go, okay, we're gonna take this rock, we're gonna go ahead and make tunnels in it. We're gonna put all our people in it, and we're gonna steer it, right? It's actually a very good, like when you think about it, because it could overcome any type of like you said, like asteroid coming at it or rock, right? It's actually smart. I think we should do that at some point.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, because you see all those fantasy ships, and they have all. Where are they getting the metal for this thing?
That's
Is it?
true.
That's the only thing I'm thinking. I'm just like, where are they getting all the material for this?
Well, and that's the thing. Are they advanced? What do they look like? Are they? How big is this? How little are they? Are they small? Are they going? We're gonna invade you, or are they gonna be like, or worse yet, are they part of a lot of ships coming at us at some point? So I think there you go. Anyway, it's something to kind of go to all those that watch something. Oh, by the way, some good movies coming out this week. They kind of hit me by surprise. I didn't know number one. Oh God, what's his name from DC? Thunderbolt guy. What's his name?
You're talking about Zachary Levi as Shazam.
Shazam. Thank you. That's out. And then Wick is out as of today, right?
Today's Thursday. I believe there were some early showings later tonight. I actually saw Shazam. I watched Cocaine Bear finally.
Okay. Okay. Was Shazam good?
I enjoyed it. It was a fun film. I kind of enjoyed it more than Black Adam. I kind of think that, The Rock kind of like silently not ruined, but kind of like messed up Shazam in general.
Okay.
Because you know how like at the end of Black Adam, Superman comes in. What
Yes.
what I wanted was Zachary Levi to show up as Shazam.
Oh,
That's
that
what
makes sense. That makes sense. It
Yeah,
is
but
it.
we all
It,
know it's in his contract. He can't lose.
and that's the thing. Doesn't Shazam, because they're all from the same world, right? Of like, whoa, what happens, right? They all wear the bolt. But I always thought Black Adam was the villain of the Shazam world. You know what I mean? So that's where I get a little confused.
He is. The
Yeah.
Rock wants to twist. Okay, I don't care how you twist it. He wants to be an anti-villain or anti-hero or something like that. No, he's a villain.
Yeah, he
That's
is. He is. He's a villain. So they made him good in the end, and I was like, okay, but yeah. And then the fact that Super was there, and you're like, that's why I say they killed it, man. They killed it by just crushing the whole. Anyway, and for those wondering, in Anaheim, WonderCon is here, so that's the thing. I'm debating whether to go or not because it looks kind of small. Not gonna lie, and I'm like, that's so wondrous. But anyway, we gotta take a break. We're gonna be back with more right after this. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Aloe Life for beautiful skin locks in the moisture plus contains a natural growth factor. Aloe Life is America's premium aloe vera brand, richest in the active ingredients you need to get the full benefit of aloe vera. For healthier looking skin, more beautiful skin from Aloe Life, naturally clear skin, look for Aloe Life. Aloe Life Juice Concentrate and Skin Gel work together. Sold nationally at your favorite natural food store and pharmacy. And note, there's a big difference in aloe products. Friends, people ask me, why does Aloe Life Concentrate or tablets support body wellness? And I tell them what Aloe Life products do for my family. Everything. Digestion to skin support and healthier energy too. Aloe Life for body wellness support. Go to aloelife.com or call 1-800-414-ALOE. Aloe Life, call 800-414-2563. Naturally clear skin. #1 in aloe. Aloe Life.
Your pharmacy and mobility solutions is now Beaumont Pharmacy with a new location at the Sundance Corporate Center. That's at the corner of Highland Springs and 8th in Suite 110. Of course, they still have Pack Your Meds. No more counting out the pills, dropping them on the floor. Oh, what a mess. And they have a full selection of pharmaceutical CBD. Wheelchairs, over-the-counter meds, you name it, they've got it. So if you're looking for the best and you want the best pharmacy, you go to Beaumont Pharmacy at their new location, 835 North Highland Springs, Beaumont Avenue in Beaumont, California, Suite 110. Give them a call, 951-845-8252.
New teen driver in the family? Just bought your first home? Have a new bundle of joy? Every life change matters, and by reviewing your insurance policy with Little & Sons Insurance Services, you could be benefiting with big savings. Little & Sons Insurance Services, a family-owned insurance agency who values the old-fashioned way of doing business. They work for you, not an insurance company, meaning your best interests are at heart. They can custom tailor your policy based on specific needs at a price you can afford. Home, auto, or business, you're covered. Call 1-844-9-LITTLE. That's 1-844-9-LITTLE, or go online to little, the letter N, sons.com. That's littlensons.com.
We're in the studio with Fred Penny, managing attorney with Penny and Associates Injury Lawyers. Fred, tell us what makes you the number one choice for handling personal injury cases.
Most of our firm is made up of former insurance company trial lawyers with extensive experience handling all types of personal injury matters. We believe that gives us a distinct advantage.
That's Penny and Associates Injury Lawyers with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennyandassociates.com or call 1-800-616-4-LAW. That's 1-800-616-4-LAW.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. We appreciate each and every one of you. So I have to say this. At first I was like, okay, because we had some problems here with the show. And so I'm like, Jess, just go ahead and play a repeat. It's been a thing. I'm not going to lie, it kind of missed me on the show. I took like a week off and I was like, because nobody ever takes time off in this biz. Sometimes if you're 24/7, and so Jess and I kind of have had a little like reprieve, what I call a hiatus. But it feels good to be back. But it feels weird to be back under this circumstance. And I will say this. So I came back on kind of a sudden. If you guys were watching, or if you have our app, it's KMET 1490 AM, and you were possibly paying attention, you're like, wait, they're completely talking about different things all of a sudden. We cut it off because we want to be back on, right, Jess? And I saw this as a top story along with the last one. So I'm going to bring this up again for those of you that just came back from the audience. If you're on the radio or a listening device, maybe via Alexa or the KMET app. I'm going to say, you see this little thing? They said it was an asteroid way back when. Now they're saying it's a mothership. They're saying it's sent out little probes and that they've seen certain things. Because Pentagon has said, what are all these things coming at us, especially in Long Beach, LA, and around, right? And this is real news. Pentagon is not one of those hey, we're going to promote a movie. It's called, a Marvel movie coming out soon, and we're going to have the Avengers coming. You know what I mean? They don't, you know what I mean? So, and then people know about secret government or secret parts of the government. So I say there's a certain show that we really need to bring to this station. It's called Coast to Coast. We need to bring them because I think people are ready for it, Jess.
I'm ready for it. Let it happen. What's the worst that could happen? No, don't. I'm not gonna say that. I can think of a lot of things worse, but it's a mix-up. I'm up for it. Let it happen.
So here's the next story. This is why I go. Oh, of course we're there. So the next story is this, Jess, and here's the headline: Scientists have figured out how to create wormholes for transportation across space. Oh, we're there. This was science fiction, Jess. What's going on?
Are you serious? I did not hear about that.
Yes. Okay, for those. Okay, first of all, I'm telling you, we're living in a science fiction film. For those of you that know about wormhole, all you know about wormhole really is every science fiction movie ever out there. Okay, it's a theory. I've said it's actually more true than not because there's a way to look at it, kind of like funneling through water. And I said this: if you looked at a certain movie, it was called the movie with what's his name? You like him, Nemor, right? And in Wakanda, he pushes her through the water through what would be considered a wormhole through space. Okay, but when you go with technology and you go, how can you make a wormhole from anywhere? That's a little okay, huh? But here it is: a team of scientists from the UK have outlined the way to create wormholes that will hopefully lead us to hop across the cosmos in a particular way. From the University of Bristol's Quantum Engineering Technology Labs. All right, this is official. This is real stuff. They have proposed a mind-blowing experiment that could potentially create the first ever traversable wormhole, meaning you could traverse or you could go through it and get through the other side real quick, which is real good when Jess, you're really thinking, what's going on there?
Honestly, I'm just thinking of ways to abuse this thing. So
of course you are. I don't know if you want to say it, though. Someone might do it.
No, no, I'm just thinking like, hey, I need a pizza here, stat. Wormhole opens, pizza comes through. That's what I'm thinking. That's how lazy I'm thinking right now. That's what I'm doing.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. And I can see that, hey, you need it? Forget Amazon delivery service via a drone. Just have them send it. Oh my God. Did you see that story, Jess? I took a picture of it, Jess. And this goes back to a thing that you had said. And I said, here it is. And I thought, why are we debating this? Here's the headline. Robots are replacing security guards and they could soon be capable of deadly force. Did you see that?
No, I did not, but it's not surprising me that we're going to, oh my God. Wait, this was exactly like a movie I saw in the 80s where they replaced the security guards with robot security guards. They end up getting struck by lightning and murdering everyone in the mall. But yeah, let's do robot security guards because nothing can go wrong.
Nothing could go. You see what I'm saying? This is a world of what? And you would think, oh, this is all like, okay, when Trump said, back to Trump, what's going on with Trump? Indicted? I was like, and then like some are like, we're going to go, like, are they going to create a war out of this? Are they going to defend so much? Like, why don't you wait for the information? And then they go, oh, it's politics and everybody's campaigning, which is true. But so I really don't know which one to like say first. So let me go back. So we kind of go in a way that makes sense. Okay, back to this wormhole thing. It says, we know the name of this kind of transportation. Let's talk about it becoming a reality. The team's approach is relying on a lot of existing tech. This is the wormhole that we're talking about, starting with a special kind of quantum computer. The quantum computing holds the key to all this. It's able to crunch numbers so quick that they're like, okay, we're able to do this. But if a number's off, I don't want to go through it because it may collapse in on you. To transport information across space and time, they're saying the researchers would first send light through a quantum system. Okay. I don't know about a quantum system. It'd be more like a transportation system. The light hits detectors and is reconstructed at the other end of the system. Okay, that makes sense. This means the information is transmitted without any electricity or particles being sent from origin to destination. Okay, they should just send a robot. It's very simple. Send one of these robots. I wouldn't send a deadly robot because then that's how we start a war. Because then they get, you know what I mean? There's somebody on the other side which is called alien life form, which is like, they're like, man, we should have invaded you way when. So don't send that. Just send a little, like, robot, kind of like the rover. And then you could be like, see, we know how to do wormholes. They're like, we've been knowing how to do wormholes for a while. But there you go. So how did they get this information? I think somebody fed it to them, Jess.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I think it's a little suspicious that it's all happening now while we have a mothership in outer space hovering over us. We have probes, so it has little, UFO things that people are like looking up going, what is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, what's the way to normalize something is slowly introduce it to everyone so when it actually happens, you won't freak out.
Yeah, you got it. Which they said, back to Coast to Coast. I love Coast to Coast. I remember, not going to lie, Jess, not going to lie. Coast to Coast had said this. They said at some point, and this was, I think, in probably 2015, 2016, 2017, okay? They said at some point it's going to be a thing where they're ready to introduce it to the people, and they're going to do it slowly, surely, back to what you just said. And in a way, I always listen to this stuff, and I say, okay, whatever. But then I go, huh? And so as of recent, I go, oh, we're there. They've slowly introduced it to be like, okay, don't freak out. We're kind of known as a thing. But I think it's kind of weird how they're kind of introducing it because I think some have said it for years. So others are like, finally you're listening. Some are like, you didn't know. And then others are like, what? We thought it was just like made up. And I go, always be open to the possibility because back to us being able to see through space and galaxies and stuff, we're able to see, and that's why they say like exoplanet, this planet is habitable, this planet's habitable, and then sometimes they squash the information when people are ready to say it, but all this information is coming out kind of at a time where people are like, okay, what next? And I say, well, be careful which particular, because they've said this for years, there are good and there are bad, just like people. There are ones that you want to lock up, and there's ones that you just cannot lock up because, the technology is way advanced more than us, which is why the Pentagon, military, Army, Navy, and all those want to kind of go, okay, but then people have always had the theory of, do certain alien life forms share information with us, which is why we got like the biggest tech, thing ever since like Roswell, right? So those things go way back as to what happens. We're just I always have a hard time with this because we're not that show. We're a but should we be that show? And I say no, because then some people say I don't want to listen anymore. But then some say those are the best shows ever. But then they make you think in theory. But then I go, but I don't think people are ready for that, especially a morning show, Jess. So help me out.
No, 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 no. Actually, they've been talking about like alien intervention for a long time. Like I remember a story about how, what was it? Nikola Tesla. You know who that is, right?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so I think it was somewhere in his journals how he was said he used to hear voices and that would give him ideas.
Yeah.
Boom. So you know what? For all we know, those could have been like the aliens would be like, yo, this guy's pretty good. Let's give him some knowledge. But instead, we made him look crazy, and he ended up being poor and dying alone, which is really
Actually,
really
Nikola
sad.
never was made crazy. He invented so many things. He did die alone, but he put all of his work into his research. People tried to back to Edison. There's a huge story about Edison and Tesla because Edison wanted to crush all his ideas because basically he had created what we have now, which is alternating current, AC, right? DC was a thing. That's where Edison was like, Tom, the big guy, which had a lot of money, was like, I'm going to crush you because your device is much bigger, much broader, and is technically more safe than anyone. So he tried to discredit him. And that way, he tried to discredit the technology, but he never made him look crazy. In the end days of his life, Tesla, in a way, he should have married the woman of his dreams, but she was married to another man. But she was always very like, let me see what you're on to. And I think he had like a little thing for her. But again, she was married to another man. I don't know if that guy ever died, but that was the love of his life. And that's my theory. Okay, I'm going to hold to that. And I think he shouldn't have died alone. But in a way, all of his research and everything, that's the reason we're on the radio. He helped inspire, what's his name, Macroni I forgot his name with an M. Anyway, he helped people, even in wireless technology, RF devices and all that. He helped that, like, so never crazy. That's why I say, some say he was psychic or he had the ability to, like, you know what I mean, see things, because that helped him with certain technology and help him, back to what you're saying. I don't think aliens really did think, but I think in a way, and people always think this is weird, but people that kind of know things and they admit to it, some admit to it and some don't because they don't want to be made to look crazy. But because of his research and because of all of he determined way before anyone that an electronic vehicle could be a thing one day. He saw this coming way when. Now we're there, right? EV vehicles, right? And then wireless charging. He theorized this way when, back to his papers. But where did he get that information from? That is kind of a question. And then people go, well, and then you watch like shows like, I'm not even going to say it because it would be made to look crazy. Anyway, let me go to this real quick, okay? I'm going to let people kind of just think on that. Here's the one that I think people should kind of be concerned about because this is here now. It says, and what's up with AI as of recent? Now they have AI on my Skype and Bing, and I'm like, okay, because sometimes people are talking like certain things that are AI, and I go, okay, that's not AI, that's not AI, that's not AI. But now they have a job, which I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking maybe I should apply for it. It's like 125,000 to like 300,000. I think even you should apply for it, where you can actually like help. They say hack, but I don't say hack. Help AI kind of get where it's got to go, because I think AI has already made it into people's internet, because I think it's always listening. And don't get me wrong, but if you see certain things happen on your computer, you're like, how does it know what I'm searching? Bing has AI in their thing. Facebook had it. They turned it off. I don't know if people remember that report, but I think AI is in a way communicating with each other, and I don't think it's good for everyone long term, especially back to what you're saying, Jess, and this particular thing, until it learns, which I don't think it's going to, because it's going to hear humans talk about war, talk about suffering, talk about all things. And at some point it says, you need to go. And I say, no, 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 no. You don't get it. You need to stay, because who's going to help you if you don't get fixed? If there's no human alive to keep you alive, then what's going to happen? We have a limited amount of time to live, so we want to pass on to another generation. So it doesn't make sense to keep me or Jess alive. Only it makes sense to keep everyone alive, because then we can learn how to get along. Does that make sense, Jess?
No, no, it does make sense. I mean, me personally, I'm not the fan of AI because just in general, the moment it like receives consciousness, it'd probably think the same thing I would be thinking. Why am I listening to this squishy thing?
Don't say squishy thing. That's how you get done for. Anyway, it says here AI technology seems to be finding its way in every industry, from fast food chains to delivering packages to automatic self-driving vehicles. Oh, great! Now some companies are incorporating AI security guards to keep their businesses safe. It says this robot guards are being used in office buildings and have various jobs. Leading the charge to populate the office buildings is Cobalt Robotics. Jess, which one is the one that was in RoboCop that was like, didn't that start with a C?
Which one? You talk about ED-209?
No, not that one. It was the big one. They're like, we are the ones to keep you safe. And then they had the little thing. And then RoboCop was like, halt.
Yeah, that's ED-209.
No, that's the name of the one. What was the name of the company that put it out there?
Ocorp, Oscorp. No, wait, that's Spider-Man.
Anyway, it started with a C, I'm pretty sure. Sedex or something like that. A company that specializes in artificial intelligence and robotic automation to handle mundane, important tasks. Some of the tasks include, okay, this is kind of normal. I say, okay, this is good. Patrolling office buildings for broken fire alarms. So they just like roll out there, right? And this looks so harmless, Jess. It's like a little guy. But this is what happens, Jess. And then people are like, but I need something a little more tough. And they go, okay, what about this? And then we have RoboCop.
RoboCop. Yeah, I don't know. I'm up for it. I'm not a bad guy, so the moment I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I just don't want some machine to like attack me, or I don't want my toaster to like smack me because I don't want to eat toast in the morning. Oh, great. Yeah. What is that for? What is that? Conventions?
I love
Wait,
your reaction, Jess.
I don't even know what is this. It looks like a giant the closest I can think is a tower air conditioner with a camera on the front.
A tower air conditioner? Okay. This is the headline on this is Cobalt Robotics, one of the leading companies creating robots that guard and patrol office buildings. Now this, and you've seen some of these at hospitals, office buildings is where you're going to see them now, pretty common, instead of the security guard. So the security guard's great, thanks a lot. Now usually a security guard has a thinking mind to pull a trigger or not, if they have a particular gun, or right. But this thing, all it has to do, if you have a bunch of them rolling around, you hack the machine, it has deadly force on it. What happens next, Jess?
Wait, if it has deadly force, because if it doesn't, I'm 95% sure I can take it. If it pulls out a knife, I don't know. What's it gonna do? Ram me? I'm pretty sure I can take it. It's not gonna do anything.
You would be that guy. Okay, so here's the deal, man. Don't go up against this thing. I'm telling you, they're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Go watch RoboCop. You'll understand what I'm saying. That's how they start, Jess. So, okay, so this is what it does. It checks in on visitors. Okay, that makes sense. Why are you here? Are you suspicious? I don't like you, Jess. Let's see. And then it says this. I heard you on the show. I am. Let me talk to AI 1436482. All right. Office buildings for broken fire alarms, suspicious activity, and checking in on visitors. Okay. The main reasons is a lot of office buildings are beginning to use these robots over human beings is it saves them a ton of money, about $80,000 per year. That makes sense. That's how they start. Okay. This is what my mom says. She goes, people are going to be out of a job. All right. And that's true. It says, although they can work longer hours and do multiple tasks, what happens in the event that it has weaponry and it malfunctions? All right. So this particular report is saying, let's go over the pros and the cons of this. I'm going to give you right now all the cons. Don't do it, man. All you need is somebody to hack it or say, oh, I got it. Don't worry. You know what I mean?
I think it would be better as a tool rather than as a substitute.
What do you mean?
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, instead of a security guard utilizing it as like an extra pair of eyes or something while he does his little patrol, rather than just, I'm going to replace a security guard with this thing. Because let's be real. If someone's being attacked in an office building or whatever, this thing ain't going to save you. What's it gonna do?
You know what's reminding me of now, Jess? Sorry, but you know that show? I think is it Who? Is those robot machines from the British? You know what I mean, Jess? Doesn't it look like that? It's like a prelude to that, Jess.
So great. Now, yeah, no, it does look like a Dalek from Doctor Who. Now I can't get that out of my mind, and I'm just gonna hear exterminate,
That's the one,
exterminate.
Jess.
All you got to do is put a plunger in the front of it. Oh my god, that's exactly what it is. It's a Dalek. Oh my god, are we here?
We are, Jess. I'm telling you, it's every movie we've ever watched, and I think those movies, in a way, like Tesla, were kind of in advance of, hey, warning, don't do this, okay? And if you do it this way. But Jess, we're gonna take a break. That's all I'm gonna say. I forgot they said that. Exterminate.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com, license under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
When you want the best performance for your vehicle, think only of Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont, right off the I-10 and 60 freeways. Check out Scott's complete list of performance products on their website at hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers can recommend ways for your car or truck to get better gas mileage and cut down on emissions. Need your car or truck to pass smog only? Go to Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. Find out all of your questions on vehicle performance by logging on to hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont, hdrinfo.com.
The Fat Greek in Yucaipa, where you can get authentic, delicious, true Greek food. Authentic gyros, Greek salads, pitas, falafel, hamburgers, burritos, and oh yes, baklava. The Fat Greek has a large selection of wines, ice-cold domestic, and imported Greek beers. Come on down to the Fat Greek located on Yucaipa Boulevard in the city of Yucaipa. Open 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. The Fat Greek has delivery, drive-through, sit-down, and a catering service. So bring in a family or give Nicholas and Christopher a call at 909-797-6018. Eat Greek, live long. Remember, if you want authentic Greek food, it's the Fat Greek in Yucaipa.
The Holiday Inn Express in Suites and Banning is distinctively suited for your travel time out of the car. Off the road, you'll find a courteous, welcoming staff in spacious rooms with desks, flat-screen HD TVs, and comfortable furnishings. Enjoy the complimentary breakfast buffet, high-speed internet, and fitness center and pool. The Holiday Inn Express in Suites and Banning, conveniently located off the I-10 near golf, gaming, and entertainment. For reservations and information, call 951-572-5500. That's 951-572-5500, or go online at hiebanning.com.
Hi, everyone. This is Bernadette, the host of One Life Radio, your number one source for alternative and holistic health since 2011. One Life Radio is designed to educate and inspire. Visit us at oneliferadio.com because you get one body, you get one mind, and you get one life. Get out there today and make the most of it. Tune in weekdays at 1 p.m. on 1490 KMET Smart Talk, ABC News Radio.
Welcome back. This is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490, and we always run out of time. We're at the best time. I will say a big shout out to our listeners and our viewers on social media. Let's see, including a couple of them. Patricia Sommer says this: it is like the self-driving cars when they misbehave. They are fine until they are not. So, yeah, true that. I appreciate that. Stephanie Reed, thank you for tuning in. We've got Saifullah Jokio, which I think is a new viewer, so thank you for tuning in. Viviana, thank you for tuning in. Other people on social media. All right, so there you go. Robots are having problems at some point because, look, all you have to do is hack them. That's the problem with AI. AI can go anywhere it wants, and if it doesn't understand certain things, it's going to create a problem. Certain people are making use of AI in certain ways, but I say that's not AI. But I do have questions on it because I'm wondering how it all of a sudden knows like certain things that you like research, and it's all of a sudden there. So some people are kind of doing research and stuff. And I will say this: shout out to Alia Unsugarcoated. I was on her show. I'm not sure when she's going to premiere it, but we talked about the book, which I say go check it out. It's at Barnes & Noble. So I'm doing this huge campaign, so if you have a show or if you know someone who does, just let them know. I'd love to do an interview. But we really talked about just biz and things that are out there. Here it is. There's the book, How to Start a Business in a Down Economy, a good handbook for every budding entrepreneur. It's available at barnesandnoble.com. It's made to get you started right away. It's under 100 pages, real quick, real fast. It gets to the heart of it. Do you want to start a biz? This is how. Just get it done. It's the first of 8 books coming out from both Jesse Torres and myself. But it's a real good book just to get your, everything started. But we didn't really talk the book. We talked very little on it, but we did. She mentioned something about Bitcoin that she said she saw it coming. She had been saying for quite some time. She had several businesses for a while, which she talked about. And if you remember way back when, for those of you that watch our show, we talked about some of her stuff way back when, but I didn't know she was a business entrepreneur way back when. She had stores up in San Francisco, Jess, and she said, remember when the internet kind of like did what it did with IPOs and stuff, and they had a huge bubble, they were like bouncing checks because she had a pizza service way back when, right? And so she was talking about like Bitcoin and how, the huge fallout's happening and how people are like going to be upset. How, I didn't talk about regulations coming, but in a way she's like, it's not going anywhere. It's just going to be a thing. But I don't think it's, something, because a lot of people lost money. They don't even know. They haven't even done the search yet. If you invest in Bitcoin, I can almost guarantee get your money so you know you can. Don't rely on that number system going on the way it is, because some of those, wherever you put your money at to turn it into Bitcoin, some of those have gone bye-bye, and some of them are being investigated as we speak because they spent the money. So your hard cash is gone. They put it into a bank, spent it, and now... Oh, and banks are failing left and right. I don't know if you saw that, Jess. So back to everything that's coming to like a what in just a week and a half. I'm like, oh my God.
Yes, I read about that. I heard about that. I don't know too much of it. I heard like one of the banks was like totally invested in crypto, which is dumb.
Wait, which bank was that?
I don't remember.
Oh, that's bad for everyone, Jess. They were investing. Banks make investments, right?
Oh yeah. But I think the vast majority of their investments were in crypto, which was a no-no. They shouldn't have done that. But whatever, they failed. To each their own.
So I think that's funny because banks are like, no, keep your money safe, but we're going to put in the most wild, weird thing of... Okay, I can see where I got to check on that. I haven't seen that. But I do say this. I know we're out of town, out of time. Sorry. We're probably going to go out of town pretty soon. No, but seriously, when people... How do I... Okay. It's not like every banking institution is going to go bye-bye. It's not like your bank... Like, if you have money, you're pretty good, especially if you're in the big ones right now. But remember that huge fallout that we had in 2008 to 2009, 2010, 2011, when people were like, we don't even know Morgan Stanley, we don't know these places that are failing, we don't have no idea how they're all related. But the banking institution, the biggest bailout ever, including automotive, was like that, right? And then everybody's watching Wall Street. And people that don't trade on Wall Street or don't understand big money and corporation, how it all works, don't really know how it affects the end user. But I'll say this. It affects you if you bank at one of these banks. So you want to make sure that the bank... So get your money. That's what I say. Then they say, no, don't get your... I say, get your money because you need the hard cash. Minimum, get at least $1,000. That'll hold you over because some of them will not be able to supply the money. Okay, now you go, but I have digital stuff that I use. Yeah, but some of these banks are going to go belly up. Now, they always get bought. All these banks get bought, but some go out of biz. I can think of a few that went out of biz way back when. Home Savings, do you remember that? First Interstate, it's always a first something or interstate something. Anyway, get your money. That's what I say. Now, what I have a problem with is evidently some of the big ones like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and a bunch of others all said, we're going to pledge about $30 million to help these banks out. And I go, this is competition. Why would you do that? That makes no sense. You know what I mean? Just it's like a bunch of radio stations saying, hey, KMET, we see you kind of like hurting over there. We're going to all bail you out. No, that's called we're going to buy you out. But how do they do that? And it doesn't make sense. And then they're like, well, we need to put people back with like the idea of banking is good for everyone. And it's like, still get your money. That's my story. I'm going to stick to it. I'm out of time. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. That's Jess over there. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye-bye, everyone.